Executive summary: the movie Inside Out offers narrative that exemplify various concepts of organizational behavior. It portrays the inner workings of emotion as characters managing the mind of Lee, the protagonist. Key insights include leadership dynamic, teamwork and conflict resolution, decision making and emotional intelligence. Lastly, impact of emotional states. For leadership dynamics, Joy demonstrates effective leadership by managing emotions to maintain release mental stability. Next, teamwork and conflict resolution. Emotions like joy and sadness navigate conflicts and collaborate to achieve balance, reflecting team dynamics and conflict resolution in organization. Decision making and emotional intelligence. The film illustrates how emotions influence decision making and the importance of emotional intelligence in organizational setting. Lastly, impact of emotional states. It shows how different emotional states can affect productivity and well-being, emphasizing the significance of managing emotions in organizational behavior.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Afro Azmi bin Zaidi. My matric number is 1210320. So for the next part is lesson learned from the movie Inside Out. The first lesson that we can learn from the movie Inside Out is embrace sadness. In this movie, the most significant or the most important lesson that we can learn is we need to embrace the sadness. Sadness is not something that we should be ashamed of or something that we would hide. It is something normal for us to feel and is a part of our growing up. So the second one is negative feeling and emotion are also important. Negative feeling like anger, disgust is not a bad thing. It is something that we need in our life and it just how we control it. An emotion like anger can help us to express ourselves and even avoid us from being bullied by people. In the movie, it shows that disgust and anger shows how this emotion play a crucial role to make Riley life um, more better, especially in when she adjusts to a new city, house, and school. So the next part is the third lesson that we can learn from the movie is lead to consciousness. The movie teach us that we will not always be happy. We have sad, we will have angry, we have frustrated, because it's just us growing up, and all people will experience it. All the emotion that happens in our life is just a phase that we need to face. So the next one is be truthful and do not force ourselves. In the movie, it shows that Vicky felt an old familiar frustration when Riley's mother tells her to be her parents' happy girl, while the family adjusts to a stressful cross-country move and her father goes through a difficult period at work. As a child, Vicky got similar message and used to think something that was wrong with her if she wasn't happy all the time. In the movie, it shows that forcing ourselves to be happy all the time won't help us better or help us with our problem. It will make ourselves more stressful by lying to ourselves, not showing our true feeling. The last lesson that we can learn from the movie is embrace all the emotion. At one point in the movie, Joy attempts to prevent sadness from having any influence on Riley's side by drawing a small circle of sadness. This shows that Joy is engaging in a risky behavior called emotional suppression. It found that this emotional suppression could lead to anxiety and depression, especially among teenagers. So we can see in the movie that when sadness and deny her role in the action ultimately backfire for Joy and for Riley that leads her to stress and run away from home. So it shows that emotional suppression is an emotional regulation that can lead to a bad thing for especially for teenagers that still developing their emotion. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Now, let's go to the positive and negative elements in the movie and its relation to our subject, which is organizational behavior. The first one is motivation. In Inside Out, Joy is always trying to keep Riley happy. She creates joyful memories, especially during tough times like moving to a new city. Joy turns negative situations into positive ones, showing how important intrinsic motivation is to her leadership. Its relation to organizational behavior. This scene connects to motivational theories in organizational behavior like Maslow's hierarchy of needs and Hesper's two-factor theory. Joy's actions reflect her intrinsic motivation to make Riley happy. These theories suggest that fulfilling emotional needs can lead to greater motivation and satisfaction. Now, to the second one, which is decision making. In Inside Out, there's a key scene where Joy and Sadness navigate Riley's long-term memory headquarters. They have to decide which memories to retain and which to discard. Each emotion advocates for different memories based on their emotional significance, highlighting the complexity of decision making. Its relation to OB is this illustrates decision making theories, such as the rational decision making model and bounded rationality. The emotions deliberation show how decisions are influenced by both cognitive processes, like analyzing the importance and consequence of memories, and emotional response, like the desire to keep happy memories.
Among the elements from the course that is related to the movie is low positive effect and high positive effect that is derived from the affective circumflex diagram in chapter 4. There is low positive effect where the emotion of sadness is being shown in the movie in the scene where Riley's family moved out of their old house. Riley felt sad about leaving behind her old home in Minnesota and leaving her friends, school, and everything familiar behind. And this sadness impacts her emotional development since because she is still a breed teenager and quite in the age of a child. The relation to this that we can see is where Riley's emotion of sadness fits within the low positive affect quadrant because it proves that emotion is specific and numerous in nature, where one or more emotion can coexist in a situation which might cause mixed feelings or strong feelings towards something. And in this context, Riley was going through a change of environment. And next up, we have the high positive effect. High positive effect was given in this movie that we can see is the emotion of happiness being shown in a scene where Joy went on an adventure to help Riley's imaginary friend Bing Bong to be remembered by Riley in her archive of memory. The emotion of happiness intertwined with other emotions such as sadness and anxiety. What can really relate to this scene is that the emotion of happiness fall into the category of high positive effect in the upper right corner of the circumflex. Happiness in this scene was caused by the event of reliving friendship, and this proved that the circumflex models idea where this proved the circumflex models idea where a range of emotions can coexist with each other and contributes to overall emotional balance.
Number 5, role in the organization. In this movie, Joey takes the risk to isolate sadness in fear of causing trauma to their host, Riley. Seeing sadness easily change their memories from happy to somber as Riley reminisces about her previous home, Joy limits sadness' influence and acts as the leader, deeming the emotion as burdensome. For this, we could take as a lesson that within the organization, everybody has their own role to play, from the lowest job as janitor to the highest position, chief executive officer. You cannot become one-man army in building an organization, nor you can bulldozing the organization without any support from your people. You can multitask, but there's a limit on human capabilities. Therefore, there's a hierarchy in the management. There's a people in the organization. Number six, change management. In this movie, Riley's move to a new city represents a significant change that affects her mental balance. The mishap that happened as she arrived in San Francisco, for example, the late arrival of her items, she reminisces about her previous hometown, her friends, and most of all, the familiarity that comes with it. However, along the way, with difficulties, Riley overcomes her sadness with the comfort of her family and has adapted to her new environment. The film portrays how individuals respond to change, initially with resistance and difficulty, but adapt to the flow. This reflects how organizational employees may struggle with change but can adapt with support and understanding. Organizations often face change that can disrupt the management, environment, and morals. Effective management involves preparing, supporting, and helping individuals, teams, and organizations to make sure everyone adapts to the situation.
Next, I want to share my favorite characters from the movie Inside Out and explain why they stand out to me. First is Joy. Joy is my favorite character because of her energetic and always optimistic personality. She is the primary leader among Riley's emotions, constantly striving to keep Riley happy and positive. Joy's just very energy and unwavering optimism make her essential in guiding Riley through life's challenges. She symbolizes happiness and always sees the bright side of every situation. Sadness is another favorite because of her nuanced portrayal. She struggles with feeling down and discouraged, contrasting with the other emotions. Despite being initially misunderstood as a source of negativity, sadness plays a crucial role in helping Riley process complex emotions. Her empathy and sensitivity demonstrate the importance of embracing all emotions, even the difficult ones. Sadness teaches valuable lessons about vulnerability and emotional authenticity. Lastly, Anger is a favorite character due to his distinctive personality and role within Riley's emotional landscape. He represents frustration and reacts strongly to situations that don't go as planned. Anger's quick temper and desire for fairness highlight his commitment to ensuring things are just and orderly. His character adds humor and intensity to the film, showcasing the complexity of emotions and the importance of expressing frustrations healthily.
So, what is the conclusion of the movie? Is at the end of Inside Out, several themes that relate to Riley's personal journey of emotion regulation are pinpointed. The film captures the shift of Riley's emotions of control, centered from being a simple happiness button to a mixture of emotion, including sadness. This transfiguration is a metaphor for Riley's growth and for her learning that one has to accept all feelings and welcome them in order to be healthy and strong emotionally. Riley in the movie had to move to San Francisco, and this shows her strength and versatility. This shows her character grow throughout the movie as she confronts change and adversity. Thus, the broadened emotional control panel hints that she is prepared to face future experiences with higher levels of emotional intelligence. In Riley's mind, the character of joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust represent harmony and coordination of human emotions. In the beginning, Joy's only aim is to avoid Riley feeling sad and other negative emotions, but in the end, she realizes that all feelings are important to Riley's emotional world. This is an indication of teamwork among emotions, and more so an implication of the fact that human emotions are complex and that any emotion should be accepted for a holistic emotional life. So, in summary, the conclusion of Inside Out provides an essential and meaningful lesson on the value and depth that exists within emotions. Overall, it empowers the viewers with the message that it is key to embrace vulnerability, accept all emotions, and the roles of relations in healing and self growth. The ending of the film leaves a positive feeling because it reflects people's search for identity and their growth as individuals, stressing the significance of feeling and accepting our emotions.
Next and lastly, we have recommendations for this movie. This movie could have included cultural influence in Riley's behavior, since culture do have a lot of impact in someone's behavior. Next, this movie have a good representation of teenagers' emotional turmoil, but this movie is lacking of proper conflict resolutions. After how should one resolve with others after realizing their bad behavior choices? For example, Riley should have apologized to her parents and then communicate her feelings politely instead of blaming and lashing out on them for how she is feeling. And then explain her feelings for them because her parents cannot help her with her emotion since they don't know what she is going through. A good example of conflict resolution can benefit all the audience, especially since cartoon has an impact on children's mind, which will affect their behavior later on when they are adults. Thank you for listening. That is all from